So the fact that I'm seeing blue sky up there is amazing, actually. We were calling for rain, like 100% rain all week. And now that's down to 20%. And the showers aren't supposed to start until tonight. And so if this roof dries out just a little bit more, I'm going to be able to do these other 2 patches in the sunshine when it's dry.
Buckle up for safety as I give you a day in the life of facilities maintenance.
What a gift this is. It was only 2 days ago that I did that last pocket patch. I can't even say it now. Pitch pocket patch. Yeah, it was only 2 days ago, and it was supposed to be pouring rain, like all week, 100% rain. The sun is out, it's warmed up a little bit, things have dried out, so I'm going to be able to install these last 2 today before the really heavy rains start. Sure beats dragging a canopy up here today. Yeah, look how much this deck is dried out. It's fantastic. Other than right at the roof drain here, at the scupper, this is totally workable. So I can clean that up and replace these 2 with proper pitch pockets in a very short time. So that is what I'm going to do. At least this one, there's a clamp around it. The other one that I did didn't even have a clamp around it. The boot was just around there loose, and they put a little bit of sealant on it. Yeah. So I cut through here. Big puddle of water underneath here, so this is not keeping the water out. Well, I could be wrong, but this one may have been leaking just as much water as the other one, which could explain the roof leak that we're still experiencing in the classroom. Now to remove that one. Look at the moisture under there. The nice thing about today, at least, is it's not like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, where I have to keep drying off the rain that's falling on everything. With this half a day of sunshine and dryness, I can just remove the old boot, clean the EDPM with membrane cleaner. Look at how that comes off like that. Basically gives me a nice working clean surface to start with. That way I'll get proper adhesion. Okay, so what I've done here is I've used some Turn-A-Bond tape again to seal up as much of the opening here as I can to prevent the sealant from running down. And now I'll take some construction sealant and just fill in those last few little holes here, because this sealant that I'm pouring into here is too expensive and too precious to let just run down into the through the roof deck. off of this one. But these guys, they didn't want to separate, so I've just shoved a wedge of hardened goop in between there to keep them apart. And that way when the puck of sealant cures around there, they'll be separated and they'll each have their own passage through there. They won't be grouped together, and they'll be sealed all the way around each one of these pieces of conduit. And yeah, so just like the other side, now I'm going to grab some construction sealant and just fill in the little spots here so that I can get ready to pour. So really, that's all it takes. Sealed up around that one, and then sealed up around that one. Mixing up a jar of peanut butter with the oil on top. Gotta make sure I don't go over half. Trust that what they give me is enough. Alright, there we go. I'll maybe glue around the edge a little bit just to make sure. I allowed the sealant to run over the cut line. And that way, sealing up that cut line too, which I think should work okay. So much easier to do this on a day like today. So now, where we stand with this roof is these were the three spots. Right there, and right there. You see how I said that was a different color? But it's cured. So that's very strange. But anyway, those are the three places that were definitely leaking. Our teacher's been very patient with all of this, and so I'd really like to give her a dry classroom, so let's hope we're there. And that is a good looking repair. It's wet out here. We've had some steady rain for the last 24 hours, and I would be lying if I didn't say I'm feeling compelled to head back to school today on the weekend when it's a day off and just make sure that the classroom isn't underwater. I'd hate for the teacher to have to walk in Monday morning and deal with a soaking wet mess. I'm fully confident that the three areas that I repaired on the roof are no longer leaking water. What I'm not confident in is if there are not other areas that are also leaking that are affecting this classroom as well. Do I go or do I stay? Got my fingers crossed. So you really have to play detective sometimes with roof leaks. I can see where there were some leaking areas through the ceiling here that have stopped. I'll show you. The classroom teacher told me on Friday that it had started dripping in another spot. So that would have been right up here. That drip spot that you can see right there is dry now. And you can see here how what was in this garbage pail here has been evaporating. So that has stopped. Where the majority of the water was dripping through in the middle of the room into this large garbage can, that has stopped. You can see where water had been dripping on the desk here. There is a puddle, but you see how it's dark around the edges? That means it's shrinking, not growing. And from where the water was dripping, any of the splash marks that are on the outside have dried. And right there where it was dripping from, that is dry. So that has stopped. So it does seem to be receding. This is still active right here into this blue bucket. But considering how all the other ones have stopped, I believe what we are seeing here is residual water coming through. So I will go up in the ceiling and take a look. Okay, so checking up in the ceiling here. That's dry over there. And this is starting to dry out too, by the looks of it. There's a single drip coming from up there. Now, I have no way of knowing how much water was up in between the drywall ceiling here and the actual roof deck above. So there could have been a collection of water up there that basically has to run its course. What I am pleased to see is that after the heavy rains we had last night, that we are not sitting in a worse position than we were on Friday. That it's improving, that it looks like things are drying up. So when I come back tomorrow morning on Monday, I'll be able to see the difference between then and now. But check this out. I actually think we are getting ahead of this. What looks like a couple of new leaks right here and here actually isn't. It's just a continuation of this here, because where this water is dripping up there onto the ducting, it's actually going through the insulation and then traveling down the insulation and dripping through right there, where it is then coming through here. Where the water was dripping onto the top of the ducting, soaking into the insulation, and then traveling through to the seam here and coming through and turning this ceiling tile into mush. I've torn away a part of the ceiling tile because it's garbage anyway, and poked a hole in the bottom of the insulation, expecting a bunch of water to pour out of there right away, and it didn't. It took about 10 minutes before a drip even started to appear, and now I've got a drip about every 15 seconds or so. And so what that is telling me is that the roof is indeed drying out. So I think we may have this. If you see future videos on another roof repair up here, you'll know we don't. But at this point in time, I'm gonna say that we won this battle. Thanks for watching.